Here now with more. Senate Homeland Security Committee Chairman Ron Johnson of Wisconsin. Senator Johnson, let me go back to the exchange you had with your colleague, Mr. Peters. The reality is, did we not have 4 investigations for 4 years? Weren't people like that senator and the media and big tech disseminating information about something that never happened? 4 investigations proved there never was Trump-Russia collusion?
Yes, Sean, but we're just supposed to forget that and just move on. Just forget all of that. Forget the fact that for 4 years, they never, ever recognized that President Trump was the president of the United States, that he was the legitimate president. But then when we see all kinds of very troubling irregularities in this election, we're just supposed to ignore it, and we're supposed to move on. Well, I held that hearing today because I think the American people deserve the truth. They need to understand and have these irregularities explained, and that's what we try to do in the hearing.
You discussed wire transfers from Russian oligarch, Kazakh oligarch, shopping sprees with Chinese nationals, and then we have Burisma. Hunter had no experience in oil, gas, energy, or Ukraine. Why was he being paid millions, and why would a vice president leverage $1 billion taxpayer dollars and demand the firing of a Ukrainian prosecutor? Can you think of any reason?
Well, they're obviously selling influence. And, you know, if it's true that there's nothing wrong here, well, they can start proving it. Why doesn't Hunter turn over his tax returns to see whether he ever did file an amended return claiming that $400,000? Or how about this? You know, John Solomon did an excellent report, which, of course, is not being covered by the mainstream media, showing that Joe Biden reported $3.2 million of net assets, but he's made $16 million since he left the vice presidency. You know, where did all the money go? A financial advisor said, you know, based on his tax rates and what donations he made, he ought to be reporting at least $9 million in assets. Where did all that money go? I think inquiring minds want to know.
Am I wrong in my belief that Putin is a hostile actor, Russia a hostile regime, mullahs are hostile actors, Iran a hostile regime, Kim Jong-un is hostile in terms of an actor, it's a hostile regime, but the most dangerous is China? And why would the communist Chinese do $1 billion, later $1.5 billion deal with Hunter Biden? Why would they do that? What were they expecting for their money?
They were investing in influence. And let's face it, we see how long-term thinking, how strategic they are. Look what they did with Congressman Swalwell. I mean, they groomed this guy. They saw, here's an up-and-comer. Let's fund his campaigns. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how far this guy can go. And they get him placed in the Intelligence Committee of the House. And Nancy Pelosi knows about it. So is it that far-fetched to think they were grooming Hunter Biden as well and his connections to his father? You know, we don't even know all of the connections. You know, our reports showed troubling connections. You know, their business, this Hudson West, CEFC US, that was Hudson West 3. There are all kinds of different Hudson West companies, and we've tracked over $150 million of transfer back and forth. You know, is that money laundering? You know, Hunter Biden gets a diamond. They use diamonds in money laundering. That's what Patrick Ho, who's associated with CEFC, that is what he was convicted of. By the way, he paid Hunter Biden, I think, $1 million to unsuccessfully defend him, but he spent time in jail for money laundering. It's all, the pieces of the puzzle are coming together. It's getting pretty obvious, and I just hope this U.S. attorney in Delaware returns indictment soon. They've been working on this case for 2 years. It's about time to tell us what he's got.
Yeah. Have you been briefed on the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop, sir?
We do not have we don't have that hard drive. I've heard all kinds of rumors. I've seen all kinds of things, but we need to have that all validated.
Am I wrong? I've never heard anyone deny that that was likely. As a matter of fact, his lawyer was asking for his laptop back, and in the front cover of the New York Post, they had a picture of Hunter Biden with a crack pipe in his mouth. Now, my question is it likely that if they were doing these deals with the Chinese, that the Chinese could possibly have all of whatever compromising materials might be on there? Is it possible that they have compromising materials on Hunter Biden, his relationship to his father? Is it possible that both of them could be compromised by what is a hostile regime to the U.S.?
I would say it's likely. That's what Tony Bobulinski said. compromised. There's no way that somebody that wants to work in the Biden administration could ever get a security clearance if they have even a fraction of the background of Hunter Biden. And let's face it, he's a drug addict. That's very unfortunate, okay? But he's traveling the world. He's doing drugs. He's got these computers. When we travel overseas, we have to put our real phones in a very secure bag that can't be hacked, and we have burner phones. I doubt he did that. And so, no, I think it's likely that his computers were hacked. We don't know what the Chinese government has on Hunter Biden, what can be used as blackmail, which is why Chuck Grassley and I released our report trying to warn the American public well before the election. But the news media suppressed it. They censored it. They didn't let people know. And the news media, the social media had far greater influence on this election. This was their candidate. They got him elected because of their censorship and suppression of the news. They had far greater election interference than anything Russia could have hoped for in 2016.
This is a scary scenario. I had the same experience in Vietnam, in Helsinki, in Singapore. I was handed another new phone every day, and my room apparently was swept when I wasn't there every day. Senator, thank you for your good work. We'll continue to stay on our investigation. We appreciate it.